not standing up.
Okay. I'm gonna say this. I need I'm gonna say this much. I think Bones is usually really good with holding his own. It sounds like things got sloppy on the scene. I want to hear his side of. I'll try and have a conversation with him. If I have to, I may delegate this to a captain based on the rank structure, right? But see if I can have a conversation with him, and see what I can do to get an answer as to what happened here, because there are a couple of things with the report too alone that I do want to ask questions about. So I will give you that as well. This most likely I won't go too close to until I speak with a captain about. Would you be able to just kind of, I don't know, Alice, if you had taken any notes, would you be able to kind of get me more of a written like statement, or at least finish your full statement as to
I didn't want to. I wrote up my statement the best I could because the thing is, I know that these people are competent officers, and I don't want to slate them for the work they've done. It was just one scene, and I'm happy to move on from it. But the thing is, this has been a reoccurring thing I have noticed while on duty, and that's why I do pick up when I see others might not be, which is why usually I'm fine with it. But when it's coming from a senior, that's when I'm like, okay, this doesn't feel right.
a little more expectation. I get it.
Yes. And again, I've worked with them before. I think they do great work. It's just this scene, when an officer's life was at risk there, and I couldn't get them out sooner. That fucking sucked. And I had a chat with Aziz afterwards, and he was genuinely really kind of torn up about how everything was dealt with, because he asked me what happened, because he had to go into surgery and everything. Like, they got him fucking bad.
I will talk to Aziz as well, and I guess go from there. Since this was shift 2, I do want to inform either a shift 2 senior or probably Captain Slacks.
So that was the other thing. I tried speaking to shift 2 seniors, and were being told to essentially calm down. Was it didn't feel great, and Slacks dragging half the PD out of that situation to
I'll be honest, I'll talk to Alice, but I might bring this to Barrick if that's what's going on, because it sounds like Slacks was directly involved. Wait, even if he didn't know.
Yeah, it to be fair, it is just one scene that has happened, and we deal with this shit every single day. I think it's best if it is just sort of known and made aware of that occasionally. I mean, Alice, you saw the scene the other day. I think sometimes this sort of shift 2, it gets very chaotic, and people struggle with how to deal with those scenes. And we had
which scene are you talking about from the other day? I'm so sorry.
So do you remember the other day when we were at the hospital and we had the multiple people in custody, and we had them detained for a very long time, and it got to a point where I was
I know what you're talking. At what point is it that we're if we're detaining people, we need to make sure we're doing that in a timely manner. I do agree with you. Yes.
I relinquished lead of that scene because I was originally, I think I was the scene lead first, but then
Welcome back, Ben dear.
The suspects detained, and
got logged out of OSRS. Fuck, I did.
So
you're right.
I passed over scene lead, and then
funny that you recognize that. You're right.
And they were
good call.
For a really long time.
That's good backseating right there. Thank you.
It got to a point where like, I've got to put my foot down. We do not have enough information. With all of the information that we have, we don't have the information, and having to sort of explain that it was rough. It was very rough, but we got through it, and that's the most important thing. It's just, I think people need training with scene control, and I think the best way for that is when people lead by example, which is why I'm a little bit disappointed with how things transpired with Bones, because like I'm not gonna step up out of my it's not my place, right? It's his scene. He's my superior. I'm not gonna take over his scene, because he was very clearly the scene lead, because he's telling me you can't do this, you can't do that.
Yeah. Okay.
This is one scene, and we sometimes slip up, and that's fine.
No, absolutely. I do think it's important though to sort of touch base and make sure that people are at least understanding where we can improve. I think everybody's always learning and always looking to improve. That's the professional side of me. The honest side, flopped amazing, not senior to officer, is it still needs to be addressed, and I still think should at least have the conversation so we can try and continue to make that improvement.
I mean, you know what I'm like when it comes to any sort of scenes. You remember when you got left on your own to deal with that car? I was like, well, fuck, okay, I guess I'm gonna break off of what I'm doing and actually go and help the officer who's on their own.
That's why I said today, while I don't know if it was conveyed the way that I wanted it to, but I said I know not everybody likes to stay back with vehicles, but people were stepping up earlier today in shift 2, and it was no one was asking questions, and it was great. It was just
it's incredible.
No hesitation. Someone stay back with a vehicle. 125. Okay, someone back up. 125. So and so. Okay, perfect. You guys document vehicle. We'll focus on this. And it was like, oh my god. Okay, great, cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love shift 3. I love shift 1. Shift 2, it gets a little bit chaotic sometimes. I ended up coming back on duty later and just assisting with. I think it was. I had to give Slacks a little bit of a pep talk because he had an interesting. Suspect
Maiden, I'm so
in the
close.
cells,
I'm so close.
giving him a hard time. So I gave him a little pep talk on the phone, and then helping Declan and Lenny with one of their charges, and they ended up hitting someone with a $9,000 fine. But it was really awkward because I've been going on dates with a lawyer.
Oh boy!
That lawyer was in there, and I'm listening to this, and I'm like, oh no, this is a charge that they should be pushing because they were throwing moonshine bottles out the window, which is evidence tampering.
That's bad.
Oh god, it was awful. It was awful, Flop.
That is,
it was awful. It was so bad. Someone did that with a gun the other day and hit them with evidence tampering, and he lost his firearms license.
That's bad. That's rough. We call that a good old L. Not to change subject real quick. I will make sure I'll talk to Captain Slacks about it. And if at worst, if Captain Slacks feels like he's too close, I would go straight to Barrack with it and talk to him about it. And I'll ask him if he wants me to kind of follow up with a report and stuff. If he thinks it needs more of a formality, I'm going to change the topic real quick. Could you do me a big favor? Speaking of reports, incident report 3685 is on the docket. This is the Dan situation from the other day, the shit show.
Flop.
Yeah.
You know when I joined that?
No, I don't actually. It was
when
so
I
chaotic.
Chased the dog.
Not that one. Were you involved with the one with the day before?
No. I don't. What, with the huge Dan line?
The Siobhan situation where she had the antler sewed onto her head.
So I clocked on duty at the end of that when you guys were chasing them. I think I grabbed the Vingle vehicle.
I'll ask a better question. Do you have any? Oh yeah. Could you just put a basic ass like sentence or two just saying that you got on duty, assisted a scene, and dealt with X vehicle? This way, I can export this and give it to the lawyer because this case is already on the docket. I just need it.
What's the number? Sorry.
36. Give me a second. It's gonna be 3685.
Yep, I can definitely. Oh, it was this one. I thought this was the...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You should be good. I'm just wrapping something up real quick.
Okay, I have an Alexander River in the lobby wishing to speak to a senior or FTO because he wants to apply for PD again, but I keep hearing rumors about an application wipe coming up, so I don't know if I should give him the application or not.
Tell him this. Tell him by the end of this week, new applications will roll out. Have him come by in a couple days. It would be no use to put him on the old list because we're done with the old list. So have him reapply in a couple days. Just let him know to come in a few days, and we should have it all solidified.
Okay. All right, will do.
Yeah, not a problem.
Fun fact: I hired Alex Rivers at my old precinct. He told
really?
Me yeah, he.
I just think it was 7 months. Can we get some hearts in chat, please? Thank you.
But you got to be very patient with him.
Yeah.
I know he didn't last very long here originally.
unfortunate, but it's gonna happen, unfortunately. I mean,
he's one you got to be very patient with.
I think he's deserving of a second chance, but he definitely didn't leave a good impression.
Yeah, I remember
so sorry.
that.
You are perfectly fine.
It's okay. Oh, good. I thought this was the incident with the dog, and I was like, if I'm gonna write.
No, you are fine.
I was like, do I have to write a statement about dog? Okay, I don't feel bad about waking up and getting back to work early.
Let's go.
The next few days.
I can celebrate.
I'm not sure if you. I heard you kind of finishing up. I just want to make it clear that I do appreciate that you do step up, Maisie, because we do see you do it. We are very proud of you. I do come around for shift 2 sometimes, and of course it is a different it's a different thing. Just like I've had this conversation, as much as we want to sit here and pretend and sugarcoat that all 3 shifts are the same and standards are the same and this, that, and the other, they're not, and they probably never will be.
I can do quests now.
I'm open to say that. I'm not going to bullshit you about it. And so I do appreciate you stepping up and helping with situations. I wasn't there personally, so I won't comment too much about the situation. I'm gonna speak to the other officers and kind of get it. But every officer has an off day, and it's very possible that Bones was having an off day, and so he might have just needed somebody else to step up, which was really great that you did that. He probably just a lot of times I'm trying to wear that helmet. How thankful he probably should have been that you did come onto a scene that was probably a fucking shit show and step up, and it really did help him.
See, I don't mind when, like, I think with these,
I gotta get smithing and runecraft now. Do heroes quest, which
I don't doubt.
I need mining for. And then I can finish that. Lunar diplomacy. I don't know how I never finished that, so I'll finish that, and then I'll be good to get
again,
the
the officer's safety in that time. Like, I don't think he's a bad officer in any way, shape, or form. I'd rather be constructive with my criticism as opposed to shitting.
Oh no! What I do?
Like you said, they could have had an off day, and it's fine. We all have really bad days. Yesterday, I needed to get off duty because I was.
What I do?
I was like 30%.
Yeah, we all are like that, and so.
Why are you saying, "Oh no, I'm scared"?
Did you need something really quick? I'm so sorry.
I don't know if you can help me because I texted Flop it, but
oh, I did not read my. I'm sorry. We've been in a conversation. Let me see.
Is that something you can help with?
Which rank for Chastity do you need?
Chastity needs PD staff and dispatch tags.
Let me take a look. For Chastity, give me a second. What is Chastity's state ID?
Chastity Marie Sanders is 3286.
Got it. Okay, so you don't need department. She's good for LSPD, so for rank you need
PD staff and dispatch
and
on top of reception.
And dispatch. Okay, she should be all updated. Just look at her stat profile and let me know if that's updated correctly.
Do I need to restart my MDT for that?
Just refresh the staff page. It should update.
I don't see it.
You don't see it? You said sorry.
No, I do not.
I just saved it. Try and do a quick double check. See if that helped.
There we go. Okay.
I did not realize I had to save tags. The more you know.
Yes.
What'd you say?
I said you do, yes.
Oh, you said you do, yes. I thought you said you dumbass, and I was gonna be like, I'm sorry.
Oh,
what the fuck?
No.
What the fuck?
All right, and then I don't think I need to worry about anything else right now. Unless it starts affecting shift 1 and then I have to worry about it, but I just not a big issue right now.
No, you're good. If you need anything in regards to stuff for dispatch, always feel free to reach out. If I don't respond, a text will
Can you set my call sign?
I can actually, yeah.
Jalen, also, can you you might need it as well. Can you take a new photograph of Miss Sanders to and I'll update her profile and her staff profile as well. Um, you should be able to update her profile, and then I can add it to her staff profile.
I'll be honest, you should probably do that. I'm dead tired.
What is your call sign?
D-70, Delta 70.
Delta 70. All right. You are good. I've got you saved and taken care of.
Thank you.
Not a problem. Yeah, Maisie, after you do that, I'll submit it to the lawyer.
Is there anything else that you needed, Jalen?
I'm
No,
sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go to bed.
All
I'm gonna
good.
go to bed. I'm tired.
I hope you have a great night. Thank you so much for all you do.
Thank you, Jalen.
I'll 70 time for you too. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good. I got sidetracked. I'm
good.
cooked today. I am so sorry.
So, we'll look into it and try to figure it out. I will say that I will apologize, and no one should dismiss you coming with a concern, or anything like that. And we will bring it up to someone else. I will say, I personally notice Slacks does this a lot. And again, someone needs to bring it to his attention, which a scene will not even be finished yet, and he starts racing off to the next one, and where there thins out officers way too much, and he doesn't do it with bad intentions. He wants to make sure that every single person in the city is helped. He does it.
Yeah.
He wants to just make sure everyone's helped, but he's shooting himself in the foot by thinning two officers too thin on situations and rushing to another one when there just simply isn't the units. And how you have seen me multiple times where I've told you, I'm like, we just can't do anything about it right now because we are too thin. We have too many things going on. We need to focus on what we have in front of us before we can move on to the next thing, because otherwise we're not going to be able to have
I don't know if I have
the
Listachio.
correct
I don't know.
resources on each thing that we're doing, right? And that's just it's not necessarily what Slacks does is a bad thing per se, but I feel personally he shoots himself in the foot because there just simply is everything. It doesn't get a full complete, and it will in the end make officers significantly more tired because they are being overworked, truthfully. And we just don't have enough officers, even in shift 2 that has a fuck ton more than every other shift to respond to everything. And some things we just can't
I don't think this is too bad of a complaint. I think this was
That's fine.
okay.
Documenting scenes. That's what I do. And if I'm not able, like with that scene up in, because I had to issue another complaint.
It's more so that he was pulling officers off of that scene to when y'all and essentially leaving 95s with not enough officers to be processing the 95s from the officers who were on that scene. And I mean, again, you said it yourself. It shows by the report. The officers are not. There's no way that it was just the three of y'all were even on scene. It doesn't even list all the officers who were on
maggots.
scene
That's
on a 13 Alpha.
Fucking terrifyingly
and this came
disgusting.
up to me the other day with. Oh, I'm so sorry. That was my bad.
I was
washed.
I was dropping fish out of my RuneScape. Please.
I'm so sorry.
I was playing RuneScape on my phone, Alice.
I'm sorry.
Temporos sometime, yeah.
What'd you say?
Temporos, is that the boss?
Which boss?
The fishing game, the little Temporos thingy, whatever it's called.
I'm just doing barb fishing right now. It's easy AFK.
Okay.
Brian mentioned it the other day that during another 13 Alpha situation that we're not.
I see we upgraded from mold to maggots. Yeah, maggots
are trying. Right?
I don't care about the mold thing.
Again,
some mold is good. Mold has a bad like aura.
I'll talk to Flop about it, and we'll address to have like a chat with those officers and kind of, again, most of the time it's just they're just simply not self-aware, and that's okay. A lot of people look outwards and not inwards, and it happens. We're human, so.
I just worry that I'm gonna get in trouble because
why?
Because if I get a statement in, I'm always gonna write a statement, but if I don't get the evidence or anything else in, and you look at the report, that's gonna look really fucking bad on us as a department. So it's, and I also don't want to get, you know, the blame for the work not being done, because I am present on the scene. I write my statement. I tag myself in every incident. You know, if I forget, it's probably because I'm cooked. And let me tell you, I'm functioning on like 3 hours sleep. I've been very bad sleeping recently, so these shifts are, I'm very much until I fix my sleep schedule. I'm running on like 3 hours of sleep, so I can get in for this shift.
I'm gonna say this much: if you have an actual concern that you want to bring forward, you even said yourself, you're not looking to get anyone in any specific trouble. If it came to that, it came to that, depending on, you know, once we actually get the full story, right? But from your saying, some days are bad days. Today, you know, or this incident was just a bad one, and you feel like it should just be addressed. I don't think you should be in any trouble for that. I don't think there's gonna be any backfire on you for that.
With that said, and one thing that we definitely are pushing to get away from the stigma of that every time someone does something wrong or incorrect or maybe a little bit different than what is expectations, that they're going to be damped, and that's not going to be the case. You know, a conversation about something and be bringing, like, you know, it forward to where people just kind of get an idea of like, oh, okay, that makes sense, I won't do that way again, is going to be our first direction regardless. So you don't ever feel like just because you, while maybe, you know, something doesn't get added properly, you know, it's not going to be a first time you're in trouble, right?
Yeah.
It's always going to be a conversation first, and probably honestly a conversation even a second time. The with a few exceptions of certain daps, and you don't have to worry about being in trouble for things like that. Again, we're all human. Flop and I do it ourselves. We're all trying to make it through. We're trying to work with what we've got. And someday it'll be hopefully we'll have enough units in every shift to be able to delegate everything properly and do multiple scenes, and things will be great. But until then, we are just doing the best we can.
Oh, it's been wonderful. Like I were, you know, my little speech, like it's been an absolute honor. I really enjoy working alongside everyone, especially when, you know, when we have like a really good shift and everyone is just cooperating and working really
Oh,
fucking
it's
well
great.
together.
It is
Oh,
like,
it feels so good.
it's like a serotonin boost. You can't explain it to anybody. You just feel good. You're confident. You're engaged. It's everything that you could ever imagine it. Maisie, I don't know if anyone's talked to you about this. In fact, I haven't talked about this with Alice at all. I am just curious though. And if this has been brought up, Alice, you can smack me in the face and say that I'm a dumbass and forgot. But have you ever had any interest in potentially teaching down the road?
I spoke to her about this, which
Really?
actually before, yeah, I spoke to her about it the other day. Which brings me to that, now that you're an officer, and I think I told you this when we talked the other day, which is essentially we'll send you out with 2 cadets, have you fill out this, you know, a FTO report, and then we bring it up, which I don't see it being a no, but as far as giving you the option to join the FTO program. So from this point forward, when there's a cadet, which I can, if you're interested, would you want to take one today?
I mean, sure, I'd love to. So where I kind of think I do best with cadets is those that might seem a little bit anxious. So like the proper fresh ones, I'm very good with those guys because
Yeah,
again,
you
I
talked
was
to me about it.
That's great.
You and I are in the same boat. I'm not a very I struggle with learning. I've struggled with it my whole life, and it's always there will be people that way, and being able to know like how much extra it takes to help someone who struggles allows for you to be a better teacher to someone who struggles. So I understand completely. Um, Let me see if there is any shift 3 cadets, and if we have some and someone wants to come in, if you want to take some, I would I would appreciate it personally, because it helps me a lot to have the officers step up and are looking and wanting to FTO. So
Mhm. Okay, yeah, because one thing actually, I wasn't too sure if you guys did any of this training at all. It was one thing I always really enjoyed. Breaching and clearing buildings after a scene. I see
People,
many folks doing that.
yeah.
It's just like sort of drilled into my brain. So
Breaching is
yeah,
something that isn't trained a lot, but there is actually a proper procedure for it. And I try and
We need to add breaching and negotiations to Academy
absolutely.
for I think that was one thing that also, Maisie, not to cut off this conversation, I'm going to be removing you from the training Discordia because obviously you're an officer now. You don't need to be there until
okay.
we'll re-add you back when you become an FTO.
Should I leave?
I can remove you. You can leave or I can remove you. It doesn't matter. You just don't have to be there anymore unless you need to.
Okay,
For
cool.
the FTO program, which again I'll just add you back whenever the time comes.
That sounds good. I
am going to add on real quick that if you do have interest as well, I don't have the full information, but I'm sure in the coming, we'll call it 2 to 3 weeks, we are setting up an academy, and from what we've gotten, it's going to be a pretty good one. And I'm sure we're going to need a lot of helping hands with that too. So if you do have interest, I'm glad to see it. And obviously, if you would ever be interested in helping out with Academy too, it would also be super, super appreciated.
Yeah, I could help with academies. With cadets, I think I'd probably like 1 day cadets, 1 day not cadets sort of thing. Like I need
Sure.
I need to get my bike patrol in every now and then.
Don't feel bad about not taking cadets. Like you know, and inevitably that's kind of the hope
great.
Is that we keep teaching people, then those people will teach people, so then everyone will have to teach less. I mean, I had Flop and myself, we both were taking 2 at a time at the beginning because we were the only ones. Like there was just a very small of us, and inevitably there will be a lot of us to be able to kind of again delegate out. So taking days off is completely fine. Don't ever feel bad about that.
Are like scheduled FTO sessions also something that we can arrange too?
Yes, you can.
I like
yeah, you can schedule FTO sessions. You can you know, even if it's like out of shift and you want to schedule with someone in your shift. And Flop, can you I'm cooked. What was the consensus of getting in queue? You can't get in queue out of your session, out of your shift, but you can schedule one.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what the fuck Barrick said, because I read it and it was like whiplash. So he said, yeah, you can take people out of shift if it's scheduled or nobody's in queue, and then immediately after said, I don't see why not, but for the time being, I'm gonna say no, because it'll conflict things with the next academy.
Oh, that's because I know why. The next academy is going to be all experienced, like a good amount, and they're going to be pushed to PPO immediately instead of being cadets, and they are not allowed to go off of shift. Like they will only be able to PPO during the shift that they are hired for. So that's why he's saying that, and that's I didn't realize you didn't know that. So that makes more sense why you were confused.
No, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Like, because even as a PPO, they're not gonna. It's like if you're shift 3 PPO, you're shift 3, and that's it.
I got one question actually, which is when we take out the police boats, how do we get our hands on those boats, just in case, because it seems to happen a lot during shift 3, and I'm a menace on a boat apparently.
You're gonna call the boat. with,
true, actually.
/SV0 in the text box of your MDT. /V0. /SV. Sorry.
Fuck yeah.
I gotta ask though, did you tell Alice about that? Alice, were you on scene for that?
Where? Oh yeah, she told me.
Oh
where
my
she
God.
gunned the guy down in the water. I was there too.
It was oh my God.
He wasn't in the water.
He was coming to the boat. He said, all right, I give up. And
he got the wrench out.
And I quote, if you do anything silly or reach for anything or do anything dumb, I'm gonna blow your fucking brains out. And immediately he reached for a fucking wrench. I was like, bro, what did you expect?
He called her and she fucking said, okay, I'll one up it.
We on that
Either if you have
FAFO.
food or water, because I'm gonna fucking die.
Yes, food. I need food and water.
I have
a donut.
I have one donut.
Really?
I'm sorry. I got here. I got here. I got one of those. Maisie, I got, here you go.
Thank you.
I got one of
Thank
those.
you.
That's all I got.
All right, so I won't keep you any longer, but thank you very much for listening to me. I'm really sorry
of
that
course.
it's just yap. I out yap Duncan.
I don't know about that. Don't worry. You
No,
you got a lot of working up to do before you out yap Duncan.
I did out yap him. We were off duty, hanging out at the Liquid Library, and we're sat down just talking. And he's like, "I don't have anything else to say. Can you drop me off now?"
Oh my God, you won?
Yeah, we're looking into that situation, and we'll try to get in touch. It could be a few days, it could be a week or so, because we obviously have to get in contact with the appropriate multiple parties and a couple different situations. We'll be in touch, okay?
Sounds good. But if there are any
what's up
cadets
with my
that need
mouse?
going out, just...
I will let you know. There aren't any in queue right now, but I tried to find some to see, because we still have about 5 more that are cadets that need to be finished. And so we'll see when they join. We'll hit you guys up to see if anybody wants to take them. Okay?
Oh, awesome. Also, shift 2, they don't let raw XD. We have to just call.
Huh?
Call signs. They hate raw XD. They hate hearing it on the radio.
Well,
McNulty
I mean,
told off, I think, Viv and Bay.
Well, okay. Well, I'll talk to Barrick about it, and we'll go from there.
Because if he does that, if I'm in shift 2, I'm gonna just say Rapidon will response extreme division 76 every single fucking time.
I mean, listen, I'm gonna say for now, Alice, you can cut me off and tell me no. For shift 3, I don't care if you say raw XD.
I don't care if you say raw XT. Listen, I'm gonna just be honest. If it's something you guys are enjoying, I'm never gonna fucking shit on y'all for that. If it's something that you're
Fucking
enjoying, you're on
facts.
duty, you're being safe, we're able, you did it the other day. I told you I needed you to get in a car. You didn't, without question. You went and got into a car to help me with a scene that I needed help with, and then you went back and did whatever you needed to do. And I will never question what y'all want to do. If you're having a good time on fucking duty and you're enjoying work, and we have enough sufficient units out on the streets and cars, and have enough, we can have people on the bikes. It doesn't bother me. I really does. So I have no problem with you. And then whatever you want to call it, whatever, I don't care. As long as you're having a good ass fucking day at work.
Oh, so I'm gonna leave you guys to it now and check evidence of evidence of excellence, because there was a fun little video.
I did see the video. I actually if we could get a few changes to that, or even I was also, even just the way it is, to just do it as like a whenever we get bike SOPs and shit like that, like in whatever, if we have a
we just have the names there and stuff.
Yeah, to have it.
What's up, chat?
I think
we all
that
doing
would
all
be
right?
great.
We're doing
I think
well.
it was very cool.
I am so
I think
sorry.
it would be a great addition
like
to have like a little bike unit. And
we on that meeting, Ryan. I'm also just very tired. I'm a little cook boy today.
Even myself, like one day, getting a chance to go on bike patrol, and that is just such
evidence of excellence survived. Oh
this
yeah,
is very cool. So,
oh yeah.
all right, I'll speak to Fla, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Thank you so much. You guys are amazing.
Maisie.
You take care, Maisie.
Have
Maisie,
a great shift.
Was your
Thank
statement
you.
done for that?
Yes.
Okay.
Statement's done.
Perfect. I'll export and go from there.
Did everyone else get their statements in?
Yep, everyone's good.
Okay, perfect. I know that
In just enough time too, so that works.
Yeah, we were pushing the brim of that, like,
yeah. That one was getting a little close.
Again, and I said this to I think I told Pins, which it comes on us,
as well.
right?
Yeah, we failed to
needed to be
express the importance of that.
Next day, that next day we needed to be like, yo, but you need the report in now. Like,
get that shit.
So but I'm gonna be honest, after that first day, and then when we came around that next day, I was so fucking out of it. I was like, I wasn't even sure what fucking plane I was on. So
I think I took the day off, to be honest. I was I'm gonna be honest, I remember like waking up, laying in bed, looking at the ceiling, and I felt like someone hit me over the head with a baseball bat, and I was like, I think today's the one.
Yeah.
I think today's the one.
Today's the day off. Yeah, no, probably. So about that, whatever the situation, I say, considering all 3 seniors were involved in that in some way in her complaint, I'd say that we can
I'll just be
we should
honest.
speak to them about it.
We
Go
can
ahead.
either speak to them about it, or we go to Slacks and just say, listen, Maisie's not pushing for like punishment from this, but she wanted to just address that she saw concern. And
yeah, even
sorry, go ahead.
we should just go to the seniors first. I think we all talk about, like, you know, if you have an issue with someone, who you're going to go to first, right? And you should just go and talk to those people first. Now, I think that she did the right thing trying to speak to a different senior about Bones, but she should have probably went directly to Bones.
I agree.
And said, hey, you know, I just noticed the scene, but, you know, like, everybody on scene was like standing with their thumbs up their ass and not doing their due diligence, and there was zero delegation from you. And, you know, I'm a little concerned. I want to make sure that our scenes are properly delegated. I felt like a lot of responsibilities were thrown on me, and there were a lot of other officers that could have helped. And then go from there. But then even the second best thing, which was to go speak to another senior about it, which I'm just gonna be fucking blunt. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with McNulty sometimes. Like, I'm just, the way he teaches, the way he speaks to people, the way he says things, it's not something that I personally would ever do. So again, I think that he probably, I would not be surprised if he did disregard her coming to address like a concern. So, but it is what it is. Like, that's the person that they put for senior in that ship. That's not my fucking choice. That's not anything I have any, you know, that's above me, right? So
sure.
However, I don't want her to be discouraged of approaching people, and that really just comes to McNulty, that she's just going to be discouraged to even go to him. So if he sleeps at night knowing that people are discouraged to come talk to him about things, then that's on him. You know, like, that's what he has to lay with.
I mean, I don't know. McNulty is really good, I think, and I actually do think he's very approachable. I don't personally have a lot of issues with McNulty at all. I do think that it is important, at least in my opinion, from where we are right now, especially. The thing I told all the captains, and this is what kind of got me in hot water for a little bit, because I was speaking very loudly about it, was that all of our captains were delegated to their positions. And they look at it from the top down. And the reality of the situation is that they look at it from the top down, which is fine. But the people that actually understand this police department, the real ones that actually understand what is going on right now, is everybody who's gone through academy and has gone through the actual cadet process. They are the ones that are understanding this from the ground up. It's a very different perspective to look up than it is to look down. And I think that especially right now, since we're building so foundationally still, hearing their concerns, I think is really like the most valuable, and letting them know that they have a source to look up to is really important. So whenever someone brings like a concern to me, I don't ever say get the fuck out of my face with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to hear what you have to say, because if it's a genuine complaint, I want to hear it. If it's something
100%.
silly, I'm gonna tell you, hey, listen, you know what? This shit happens, but most of the time it doesn't.
Well, 100%. And then what honestly probably happened on the scene is it was probably a damn shit show, and Bones was probably so over it, or he was so overwhelmed, and it happens to the fucking, like I told her,
The dance situation. I swear to God, I almost left everyone in the dust. I didn't though.
Well, I mean, you know, and I'm thankful for that, because you would have been leaving me in the dust.
Nah,
I told you that right afterwards. Like, you know, and
I would never. It got close, but I would never. I finished what I start.
Yeah, and you know, it really comes down to, again, ultimately, I think that her concerns are valid, but I'm sure that it was just a fluke thing. I feel like it probably was a fluke scene that, you know, who knows what the fuck happened. Now, her saying, like, you know, Aziz was bleeding out, and that, you know, they needed to be rushed to the hospital, and them telling her to wait for EMS, like, I could see that. That's a call for EMS to make. When EMS comes on scene, if an EMS approaches, and they see that this officer is bleeding out, and they make the call to make them sit there and lay there on the ground, that's on the EMS, right? Like, I do see also another side of, I'm not going to let my fucking brother fucking bleed out on the ground because some other incompetent moron doesn't want to rush this person to the EMS or to the hospital.
Sure.
So I see both sides of that, you know? But ultimately, if that's the call that the officers made, you know, I wasn't there, so I can't speak on. And I will again, and I say this with every fucking situation, we'll never know 100% the truth because we weren't there personally.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I mean, that's the difficult thing about punishment is that I always tell people, like, you need to tell this to me like I've never been there. Teach it to me like you're holding my hand and walking me through everything, because
Right.
I need to. It's the same thing that I tell people with statements. Write your statements as if someone's going to read this and needs to understand it. Because if you ever have to go to court, a judge has to
Sure.
read this, and a judge needs to understand what you're writing.
Yeah, 100%.
Same thing.
And
So
in my comment about slacks, I have noticed it myself that and again, he does not do it with bad intentions. He runs himself thin. He runs every officer around on scenes too thin, and you know,
oh,
it's not a bad way of policing, but
we were dealing with a shit show probably about a month and a half ago at this point, where the union and the company were going at it, I guess, or whatever the fuck was going on. And there was 911s going all out and about. People were screaming on radio, and I was the one leading, and I was like, hey, all right, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on this. I need 3 officers to go to that 911, and I need everyone else to just stay in the area. We know the car. If you see the car, we need officers to get statements, go from there. And I'm doing all this. 45 minutes, an hour goes by. Slacks gets on radio. Guys, we need people to go to that call right now. And I was like, hey, yo, buddy, I'm here.
not happening.
And I'm like, listen, I know you're doing the right thing. I know you want to try and help out. This has been going on for an hour. I know you've been stuck in meetings. This is what's going on. And it was the first time he gave me incident command. And I'm glad he did, because I made very clear. I want 4 units on the car that's being called out. I want 3 units focusing on statements. If we don't get anyone, we don't get anyone. I want names and I want information.
100%.
Bottom line.
And that just comes down to, you know, where we are used to, you know, not having a whole lot of numbers. And that's something that, you know, not everyone sees, like, okay, we just simply everybody's just busy right now. While this situation is very important, we have to do what we can do and do the best that we can with what we've got. And that is a very hard reality, is that there will be someone that just because we were stretched too thin, we didn't have enough officers, that will die because we won't be able to help them. And that's a harsh fucking reality, but
the best we can do
what we can do.
The best that we can do is work this PD in a direction so that we can have enough units to get to those people.
100%. Exactly. And that's why when she sits here and tells me that she's been told she can't say raw XD on the radio. And
I'm gonna be honest with you just about that. I'm gonna cut you off. I don't give a fuck what you call it on the radio. If it keeps you on duty and it makes your life easier, that is the least of my fucking concerns on duty.
Exactly. That is like such a fucking what
that's
to
a
get
layup.
mad about. Like that's I don't know. Again, it's not I'm not on duty enough during shift 2 to know. However, you know, that is I don't know. I don't know who made that call or who was upset about it, but I genuinely hope that she fucking reads out the whole fucking name when she's responding to a call.
Oh, me too. Listen,
I really
I'll bite
fucking,
my tongue. I'm a petty bitch,
and then I
but
hope
you're right.
some fucking person comes at her and says something about it, because then I'd be sitting there behind the scenes eating my popcorn, listening to how the fuck someone's going to fucking justify that one, because
who's Dawkins?
I don't know.
Do I know this person?
I will use my firearm next to a PDM to ensure everything is functioning properly. I don't know. They said something about they were using their gun earlier, so I don't know.
DJ
Dawkins. My cell phone's fucking broken, man. I gotta go get phone. I gotta get fucking food. I gotta go flop. I got shit. I got.
You do that. Let me go see if Dawkins is just in the lobby. He probably is.
Miss Sanders is in there. She should be able to tell you. I asked for any cadets when cadets go on duty. If you want to, I need to actually call Pins because I need to get Pins and Forte both owe me FTO reports. And actually, let me look at my notes. Forte, McMahon, and Pins all owe FTO reports for the cadets they've taken out. So I need to get them to get going. Forte, the next time he takes a cadet, if they're available, I want to ride with him while he takes that cadet, or have someone who's an FTO ride with him while he takes a cadet to kind of see how he does. Lucas hasn't taken any yet, so Lucas needs to still take 1 or 2, and then I'm happy to, like, you know, get that going. My thing is that I don't know. It's like a fucking catch-22. Like, I just need people that want to take cadets, because taking cadets and doing senior shit and dealing with it, it's just way too fucking much. And
I haven't taken a cadet in about a month. Losing Barrick was
it's gonna be fucking so bad, and it just means, I respectfully, Flop, I took so many fucking cadets last month, and like, if it wasn't for Barrick, like, I would be fucking in shambles. And now that he's not doing it, like, I need to get more of these officers that are actually willing to take cadets, because if they're not actually willing to take cadets, then they don't get FTO, whatever. I'll move on to the next person that will want to actually take cadet.
No, yeah, that's fair.
I'm not gonna be mad.
That's honest.
I'm gonna focus on people who want to take cadets, and people who are willing to FTO, they're doing me such a huge favor. They're getting so many brownie points from me, and people who don't, I mean, it's okay, I don't mind, but they're just not getting the same brownie points that bitches that are helping me take cadets are, just for, quite frankly.
No, I mean, that's fair. I mean, I know in February, when Turner was on his LOA, a lot of people needed Turner at that time when it came to dispatch and stuff, when it came to interviews, stuff like that. And I would just get emails and was just asked to kind of help out, take some stuff off his chest. And I was like, okay. And then the month went by, and I looked at everything, and I guess the jokes aside about the auditors, I actually didn't have a lot of reports. And it was like a reality check. I was like, holy fuck, I really didn't patrol.
You were doing like a lot of office work shit that we were, and it's not Turner's fault. I'm not gonna ever blame him for that. I understand that. But we are like, we're behind in general because we're shift 3, but now we're behind even more because of the like, we have to, that's why this whole like take 30 people and just push them and get all this experience, get these people out, is going to be so good for us, because we need to take that in order to play catch up game with the other shifts, for sure. So I
have good news for you, and something to think optimistically. We need to get through, just so you're aware, we need to just give it our all for the next month and a half or so. Because what's going to happen is we're going to, by the end of the next month and a half, we're going to have PPOs. We're going to have an academy. And apparently, from what Barrick's saying, a big one. The way I see it is there is a lot of light at the end of the tunnel right now from how it
100%.
sounds.
It's going to be amazing.
We're going to have like this moment of fucking relief. And I know it's coming, but my mindset is just keep chugging along until we get to that point. And I know we're fucking close. We are so close.
You're right. You're right. And listen, I'm just busting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know inevitably it will be fine, and then we will have people, and it will be okay. And if, again, that's why, like, hearing someone like Maisie, who is so helpful, like, she's around on duty and she has like such a positive attitude, and
she's a people person. She's great.
She's really good, and I know that she's going to be so helpful when it comes to FTOing and teaching people, and she does everything she can to help. Like, to hear her, you know, I don't ever want that girl to get discouraged ever.
No.
I don't ever want, and that goes for any of our shift 3 people. Like, I feel so bad because it's always when they go into other shifts, but I want these bitches to be happy because they like I need them. I really need them. So I will do whatever it takes to keep them happy, obviously within reason, but you know,
Absolutely.
and so, you know,
Well,
that's just my mindset on it.
the thing I'm happy about and the thing I know is we currently are in. We have such a good group for shift 3, and I know that it will only continue to be better. And what I like is I feel like we have good quality in shift 3. Not comparing to others. I'm just saying in general, we have good quality for shift 3. And I think who we're bringing in and what we're looking for is I think we're bringing in a lot more quality to add to those numbers. And I think we're going to have a really good shift. Very soon.
It's already even just the difference between Barrick becoming chief and not like
It's
and
us, Alex.
it's actually so fucking good how like the difference in like how because like it's day and night. Again, I said it yesterday. The fucking captains walked so we could run, and that's really fucking true.
Oh yeah.
Without a doubt. But I'm so thankful like for the fact because Barrick, I know he trusts us and he just gives us like pretty much free reign on doing the right thing, and it's already everything's so much fucking better. Like it's wild.
There is what's the saying, the whatever broke the camel's back, the nail that broke
The straw that broke the
the straw
back.
That's what it is. Sorry. The straw that broke the camel's back with the PD, from my understanding, in my opinion, is just communication, right? It is hard to communicate with each other in this PD. It is even harder to allow each shift to individualize themselves. But when it came to making group decisions, there needed to be a unanimous 3-way agreement to pursue things. And unfortunately, translation is one thing. Everything in communication is always translated differently, number one. And number two, everyone is going to have a different mindset because each shift operates slightly differently. So not everyone is going to have the same agreements on change that gets brought forward or concern that is brought forward. I think the way that things
also,
go ahead.
I think another issue with that too was it just they all had to get together to make those decisions, and quite frankly, took too damn long for them to get together to talk about shit too. Like,
something simple like getting dispatch rolling took way too long, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like that should have been let's have a 5-minute conversation, talk this out. Okay, cool. Let's start getting people going. Approved, good. It took Barrick at chief to turn around and say, all right, we're getting the ball rolling. And I was like, okay, good. Great.
Yeah, and I think it also was that he was alone making decisions, and he did the right thing that just did it. He didn't have to sit and wait for someone else to say it was okay to do something.
No, definitely.
And again, I think Barrick has the right mindset. I think we all are in the same agreements. We all understand each other. I think we have constructive conversations, and good things going forth. So
it's good. Things are good right now, and I hope they continue. I know they're going to continue. I think once we get past this hurdle of academy, we're going to be in a really good spot.
100%.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm excited for these people that are coming in that are stepping up to. We're pushing to officers. I think Jimmy will be done with his 30 days in 4 days, I think 4 or 5 days. So we'll push him to officer, I'm sure. And then I have to see. It would be Lawson, Sterling, and Larry are the last 3 so far, and I'd have to go through and check the reports and kind of actually really look into. But they seem great too, to be honest. I don't have any complaints.
No, definitely. I think they've all been doing really great so far.
I agree. All right, I'm gonna let you go. I have to go buy a new phone and get. I need to yell at Pins because he's an idiot, and then also just have Pins make sure he fills out his FTR report. If you see McMahon or I'll speak to Forte. So if you see McMahon, you can let him know to fill out the FTO report for Crikey, please, and then
Yeah. For
you
Frankie,
can
you
email
said?
it to me for Crikey.
Crikey. I was
Thompson.
gonna say Frankie. Right. Oh, what the fuck?
Oh,
Status shots fired, MRPD.
I think that's probably.
What was that shot?
I definitely heard a shots fired.
Okay. I didn't hear. I heard something. I didn't hear where it came from.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take care of this stuff, and then I don't know if I'm gonna stay on duty right away, but
No, you're all good. If you need me at all, you give me a call. You let me know.
same thing.
I'm an email away, Alice.
Same goes to you.
Disgusting. Disgust.
Bye, Swamp.
Bye, Alice. Oh, man. We're free. Celebrate. We're free. Freedom.
Dispatch 164, 37 on 8 Wellness Code 4.
Thanks all for bearing with me through that. A lot of meetings, a lot of stuff. I think things are gonna be really good though. Hey, a little portal?
Hi.
Hi. How you doing, brother?
Oh, good.
I just want you to know I appreciate you, by the way. I don't tell you enough. Did you have a conversation with Forte? Can I quickly have a conversation?
No, you're good. Yeah, no, go ahead.
Forte,
You're fine.
can you do your FTO report for me for when you took out Judas, please?
Oh, yeah. I'll give you. It'll be like 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Send it
Yeah.
to me. Just email it to me, please.
This is from
Give it
Portal.
to you tonight.
Okay, thank you. Bye. Keep up the good work.
I was just, funny enough, I was just asking how you been. How you doing?
I just actually, I start every shift now. I go through all my reports. That's what I've been doing. It's been working.
Aw, it's like a little Bible boy.
If I don't do it, I'll forget. So I just do it.
Bible boy. Also, by the way, you know that you can you can review your reports at home too, right?
Yeah, but I'd rather get paid for it.
That's fair.
I'm not gonna do work for free.
That's a fair statement. You know what?
That is as fair as it can go. Yeah, I'm 10-7, and it kind of looks stupid, but I'm actually diligently working. I just put on some lo-fi and vibe out.
Nice. I can appreciate that.
I just realized that the problem of not being able to store shit in my car is no longer a thing. So I was filling my car with stuff.
Oh, nice. What do you got?
Well, I got a fire extinguisher.
Ooh.
I got bandies.
You got stuff. You're ready for the field.
Listen, I'll always run out of IFACs.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I always run out of IFACs too.
So I bought 10 extra and just threw it in my storage.
Good call.
What's up?
Oh, nothing. I was just coming to say what's up.
Y'all.
Oh no.
Howdy. What's going on, Carwood?
Howdy, partner.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
What?
Depends.
You all right?
I'm pretty sure the Dans are here.
No, they're not.
I'm seeing all red fog everywhere.
Huh?
Peace.
It's called the sunrise.
Sunrise. It raining.
I feel like this whole city needs Jesus. I don't know what is happening.
Cora, do you need a?
You okay, Cordwood?
I got this. Don't worry.
PD from
You gonna snap the sense out of it?
Here, Corwood. I'm gonna place this by your feet. You need that better than I do, okay? A little sugar.
He just picked it up without saying a word.
Oh shit.
You're welcome.
Oh, my shit's full.
Oh.
Bags. There you go.